Manchester City welcome Ukrainian champions Shakhtar Donetsk to the Etihad for the first ever competitive meeting between the clubs on Tuesday evening. Both sides made the best possible start on match day 1, beating Feyenoord and Napoli respectively. Unibet had a look at which team the stats suggest will fare best. No English club has ever lost a home game in the Champions League against Ukrainian opposition. On the 12 occasions Ukrainian sides have visited England in the Champions League, they have never won, drawing 2 and losing 12. Shakhtar have lost all 4 of their Champions League trips to England, most recently losing 10 against Manchester United at Old Trafford in the 201,314 group stage. Manchester City's last European meeting with a Ukrainian team came in the 201,011 Europa League quarter-finals. City lost 21 to Dynamo Kiev over 2 legs, losing 20 in Ukraine before a 10 win at the Etihad. Manchester City to win is 15. Manchester City are unbeaten in 9 Champions League games at home. City have won 6 and drawn 3 of the last 9 Champions League matches at the Etihad, which represents the longest ever run without a defeat at home in the competition. Their last home defeat in the Champions League came in the form of a 21 loss against Juventus in September 2015. City have never won their opening 2 games in the competition. Meanwhile, Shakhtar could win their first 2 games in a Champions League campaign for only the 3rd time after 200,708 and 201,011. The draw is 71. Shakhtar have lost the last 4 away games in the Champions League. Those successive opening victories in 201,011 turned out to be a good omen for Shakhtar. They went on to reach the quarter-finals that season, the furthest they have progressed in the competition. They've managed to reach the knockout stages in 3 of the last 6 attempts. However, last time didn't go so well. The Ukrainians lost all 3 of their away matches in the 201,516 group stage. On top of that, Shakhtar have conceded 14 goals in the last 4 Champions League games on the road, scoring just once. Shakhtar to win is 131. There hasn't been a single goalless draw in Manchester City's 37 previous Champions League group games. 22 goals were scored in Manchester City's 6 group matches in the Champions League last season. 4 or more goals were scored in 4 of those 6 games, including a 40 win over Borussia Mönchengladbach, a 40 defeat to Barcelona and a 33 draw at Celtic. The citizens put 4 past Feyenoord on match day 1 and kept a clean sheet. They will have to remain tight at the back in Europe this term if they are to progress further than the last 16, something they've only done once before in the Champions League 201,516. Over 5.5 total goals is 195. John Stones has scored 3 goals in his last 3 Champions League appearances. 3 of City's goals in Feyenoord came from corner kicks, including John Stones' double. The defender has found the net 3 times in his last 3 Champions League games. All of those goals came from corners. On match day 1, Stones scored as many goals as he did in the whole of last season in all competitions too. In fact, he found the net more times against Feyenoord than he did during his entire Everton career. 95 appearances, 1 goal. Shakhtar might have to put an extra marker on the Champions League's joint top scorer. John Stones to score is 192.